All right, here we go. My name is Ben Davis Jr. I ran across this website doing research for some books I was working on, and there was one word that caught my attention. So I wrote patents about the intention of secret programs that our military has under DARPA, NSA, and all this stuff. So I decided to read the website. And the name of it is dataasylum.com. I have permission from the author to use this in any way I can. So I used it to publish 2 books. And this time it's getting attention. Thanks to Shady Groove and In the Matrix for listening to me and getting it out there. Now, here we go. Here's the preface. What the hell is happening? You must be thinking that, as well as being dazed and confused in the least, which is the purpose of this website. Your unfortunate lack of critical thinking skills leaves you without the ability to see the unseeable. You watch, but you fail to see. Fear not, my less informed friend. Whether you're being chemtrail, body, mind controlled, hearing voices, or stalked by the public, this website connects the final high-level dots concerning the otherwise complicated puzzle of insanity currently before you. Logic and proportion have fallen sloppy dead, and the white knight is talking backwards. This is what they are doing to you and your family, and this is how they do it. Complete high dexterity remote control of every single synapse and neuron for every person on the face of the earth, and the greatest revelation in human history. Ubio-Api. Awesome. Now, the site inception was October 15th, 2011. Introduction. In 1999, the world changed. The money trust, the law, commercial code, contract law, applicability of public statutory presumptions, etc. Technology, nanotech, and the general direction of the planet completely changed. And in order to even remotely grasp what is happening, you must disconnect your mind from the last century's way of thinking. Failure to change the way you think will preclude you from seeing reality accurately. There is no money anymore. Taxes are a thing of the past, and no written law applies to you. So what we now have is a real brave new world. The purpose of this site is to show simply the extent at which they have leveraged nanotechnology directly on you, how they control everyone on demand with it, and in the confusion around the subject of chemtrails, and how they fit into the larger picture while showing how the media and movies are conditioning the mind of the general public. Let's just get right to it. Forget everything you know. Here it is, the epitome of reality. The video below is the best example that summarizes what's happening or has happened in your body already. This is the most prevalent secret in the world because it has been forced onto everyone unknowingly. What you see here is a nanobot encapsulating a neuron or synapse. For example, your Purkinje neurons or other nerve ending bridge. It's only a simulation, but accurately summaries everything that has happened in the past decade. This allows complete control of the host, your body, remotely as demonstrated repeatedly in the movies, for example, Metropia 2009, Ultrasonic 2012. A more sophisticated set of nanobots would be very well and subsequently allowed for a complete and full bio-API to be installed without the host, you, even knowing. If you want to get technical, your neurons have been encapsulated, your synapses have been bridged. The basic idea consists of a set of nanowires tethered to electronics in the main catheter such that they will spread out in a bouquet. Arrangement into a particular portion of the brain's vascular system. Such arrangement could support a very large number of probes in the millions. Each end-wire would be used to record very securely electrical activity of a single or small group of neurons without invading the brain parenchyma. What is the purpose of chemtrails? Chemtrails are a huge logistical operation, larger than the Hoover Dam, Trans-Alaska Pipeline, or moon landing. It's large and expensive. The biggest mistake one can make is assuming there is only one reason for chemtrails. There are about 5 or 6 reasons and possibly more. The top 6 are listed below with a brief summary. This website is concerned with the last. A visual overview may help by reviewing a flowchart. I'll click on that later on. Blocking the sun is a standard reason given to fools in the government. We need to secretly stop global warming, so keep it a secret that we're spraying. Global warming is a catch-all con for everyone in the government. If you're smarter than this, they'll give you a better reason. Blocking the sun, again, a reduction in sunlight across the planet works well to decrease or manipulate crop yields slightly. This is part of the requirement to engineer a food crisis and bring in a famine. You can dismiss this. Superheating the atmosphere. In order to create earthquakes and steer hurricanes, for example, Katrina, the atmosphere needs to be conductive for electricity. So installations such as HARP is just what they want you to see. HARP has nothing to do with anything, can work their magic. So the chemtrails spray barium and aluminum, among other things, to create a more conductive upper atmosphere. For your information, barium has nothing to do with the bioAPI, nanofibers, or nanotech at all. Climate modification to help or hurt crops. Keep skies clear for a major event like the Olympics, cause a typhoon, steer superstorms, etc. Nanofiber propagation to universally install a bioAPI in everyone they need to spray nanofibers. These fibers cannot be put into the food supply or given in some other way. The uptake across the population would take forever and not propagate very effectively. It's much easier to just spray everyone like an insect. And because it's happening to everyone, the universal herd mentality of the unwashed masses then justifies it. Nanofiber basics. Nanofibers specifically are a transport mechanism, nothing more. They hold a payload for delivery. A payload that would otherwise be compromised by the sun or atmosphere or not make it to its destination, your body, such as a viral RNA code, metals such as aluminum, nanocomponents, etc. The fibers are surprisingly quite harmless as everyone has them. Examples of these fibers can be found all over the internet or in the physical examples section of this site. The fibers must be independently sprayed. If they were added to the jet fuel, the extreme heat would destroy the payload. So it's not the fiber that is critical, it's the payload. Why? This is the complicated question. People creating and doing this are trying to force biblical principles onto the populace, including themselves, through technology. For example, you can look at 7 deadly sins. They take a basic human requirement, food, sex, a specific emotion, and quantify it within the bioapi. If the result is too extreme, for example, you eat too much or you do something not approved of them, they decide that you're not worthy of life or judge you accordingly. In the alternative, you're added to a program. The possibilities for the bioapi or nanotech in general is endless. Therefore, you should not focus on any one reason as being the end-all purpose. It's too dynamic. It's too complex. As I mentioned on top page 5 of the media references, the bioapi is the greatest revelation in human history. For example, see the last paragraph of the description of Vexile 2007, specifically the trailer for H+ mentioned in it. Data Asylum is only giving you one angle of the bioapi, the nanotech disease, and all the applications that encompass it. Also see question 9 of the frequently asked questions for a brief explanation on how this and chemtrails and mostly lawful. Who? The same group of people that brought humanity HIV in the late 70s. Also see question number 15. Bioapi phases. There are essentially 2 phases involved with the installation of the bioapi. I categorize it as phase 1 and phase 2. If you can imagine a new laptop computer, all it has is the operating system like Windows, so it's kind of useless. This would be the equivalent to phase 1. So a new computer can be remotely controlled, aka phase 1, see Service 2009, by your IT tech support guy, but that is all. There are no programs installed provided by phase 2 to do much else with it. These names of a phase 1 and 2 are not necessarily just random nonsense I made up. See the clip and movie for Control Factor in 2003, in which they use these exact names in the exact same context because they are telling you everything. Phase 1, everyone on the planet is affected and involved in this phase. Everyone to some extent has the nanofibers within their body cavity and therefore wired. I'm wired too, Michael C. Hall says in Gamer 2009. Side effects include a clicking sound from within the skull and basic annoying body complications like aching joints. This phase provides complete control remotely of your speech and thought patterns through suggestion, partially subconsciously. I guess about 99% of the populace of the entire planet has this phase complete. Phase 1 could be construed as positive and beneficial to you, at least in the future. You should also see question 9, frequently asked questions. Phase 2. This phase must be triggered by nano trigger bots and is extreme. It completely comprises your health and can do anything from kill you to simply monitor you. This phase cannot be forced onto you like phase 1. Technically it can, but they don't do that yet. This involves multiple nano sensors from ocular to heart and everything in between. I figure about 2% of the population has gone through this phase. If this phase is triggered in you, they they consider you evil, as shown within some of the media examples page of this site. You must do something to trigger this phase, including eating cheap meat, red meat, kissing specific people, using specific corporate health care beauty products, etc. The objective they are partially reaching for here is to connect each event with a deadly sin of some sort. For example, morgellons would be connected with vanity because your skin goes to hell. Ultimately, this phase provides complete remote control of your body and mind, including the monitoring of your emotions, thoughts, body functions, and everything in between. Phase 2 then can be considered a nanotech disease, as clearly shown in the Family Guy clip, in which the contagious aspect can be switched on and off. For example, I have phase 2, but I am not contagious. But I can be if they decide to make me contagious in some way, typically kissing. This allows them to completely control the transmission vector or spreading of the nano disease. If you want to get specific, the nanotech or nano implants that compose phase 2 of the bioapi is actually just the vehicle they use to monitor, torment, test, and hurt people. The disease itself is actually one of dishonor. The more dishonor you demonstrate, the more they hate you, the worse things get for you. They do not want people to figure that out. You can see Meeting Evil for clear details. Phase 2 can or is definitely detrimental to your life. That is the point of it. A cure can be found in the review for Rise of the Zombies. You can 100% confirm if you have phase 2 or not by seeing an eye doctor and asking him to look for anomalies exactly where the ocular implant is located. The implant is still a camera and therefore must conform to the laws of physics and optics still, so it must, just like your eye have a concave lens, which it does. You might be able to slightly feel it at night when you're falling asleep, when your eyes are drier and you move your eyeball around with your eyes closed. More information on the implant's location is located here. Wow. So, also see a clip for Contracted, 2003, which specifically covers the contraction of phase 2 and the physical side effects there from Pretty Dead. No clip provided. Also does a good job at covering multiple aspects of the contraction of the nanotech disease and bioapi in general, both good and bad. They show a couple of triggers. The meat, the drugs, and the side effects. Which makes her sick, complete with heavy zombie overtones. They also show a possible positive aspect such as accelerated healing. The entire movie, every scene becomes like a documentary. Nanofiber and bioapi side effects. Of course, with something as extreme as nanotech being installed within people's bodies, you would assume there would be health implications and side effects. This is correct and covered on this site. The approach to handle these side effects has been one of embrace and extend, it's called. There are several examples in the media section that show how the specific side effects listed below are recognized and then associated with something ridiculous or stupid, which then discounts the authenticity in the mind of the viewer. In effect, convincing the viewer to dismiss a real side effect as being something that's too crazy to be real. Each side effect is dealt with in a media example. Additional technical possibilities are also talked about in the bioapi detail section. Additional side effects related to phase 2 are covered in the clip for contracting. Phase 1 and 2, cranium clicking, screeching. A phase 1 side effect goes back as early as 2001. Exactly what is happening is not completely known, but involves some sort of nano chip being installed, operated in the cranium, your head of the host. This is probably the equivalent of a CPU of some sort. The actual clicking, screeching sound observed is usually at night, on average once a month, and only lasts for a few seconds. Completely painless and easily ignored or passed off by the person. The entire purpose of the movie Shutter Island is to discount this. The nano implant that is specifically and clearly responsible for this side effect is symbolically referenced in the second clip of Surrogates, 2009. I suspect over time they have improved this side effect. Phase 1 and 2, aching joints, fatigue, headaches. The saturation of nanofibers has different effects on different people. The sheer numbers involved results in a random combination of health implications. Most people will not notice anything or pass any slight symptom off as getting older. Other people who have more of a reaction will go to the doctor and get diagnosed with fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia is a catch-all disease that was created about a decade ago to give doctors something to tell the patient when they complain. The doctors can't accurately diagnose or understand what or why a patient is feeling a certain way, so the corrupt medical establishment gives them this nonsense to spew. These side effects are primarily phase 1, but are a constant problem across the board. Notice the root word of fibromyalgia is fiber. It's not a coincidence. This Family Guy clip indirectly references fibromyalgia. Phase 2, itching. For whatever reason, they may force harsh itching on you when they do not agree with what you are doing or how you are behaving. You probably will have no idea it is phase 2 at the beginning. That is shown in Flash of Genius. When they show her typing and zoom in on her hand at 44.5 in the movie, when she itches, she's presumed to be a bad wife for leaving her husband. No clip is provided. Screenshot here. And that's where I'm showing that. There's a meme. You'll have to read this whole site to understand this. The exact same concept is shown in Lay the Favorite, where Bruce Willis itches his arm clearly and intentionally after referencing it a few seconds earlier. Screenshot here. See? Okay. Why? Why would they put that in? I mean, millions of dollars were spent on these scripts and production thereto. This happens in real life to countless people around the world all day long. He's being warned. Why? Because in the movie, he's thinking about cheating on his wife with a hot blonde that just walked in. In people with phase 2, the bioapi is monitoring thought and emotional patterns, which if conflict triggers an itch, it's automated. For example, lust and guilt, because he's married. Do not go together. Think Pontypool. So they are judging you, or more accurately, people with phase 2 who are pre-targeted. Itching is also known in fast guns, zombies with guns, as they turn into zombies. Contract phase 2 in real life. They itch a lot. Again, why show this? Because it's real. Most targeted individuals will understand the extremely itchy forearm. So itching is not a side effect in the common sense of the term. It is instead intentionally inflicted via the bioapi, as reflected in the aforementioned references, as well as loosely shown in the scanner darkly. Phase 2, burning smell. Phase 2 encapsulates the person's ability to smell so they can read, write, sense. It's used to help warp the reality of someone they have specifically targeted. Example, Black limousine, 2010. When inhaling or specifically inhaling quickly is often a burning smoke smell that is noticed. This is an unwanted side effect, or more accurately, to encapsulate any neuron in the body involved in sensing, for example, smell, taste, etc. There ends up being some minor side effect. Interestingly, when I cry, the smell is amplified, and it smells like buttered popcorn of all things. An example of how the media discounts this is demonstrated in the movie Bandits. Phase 2. The left eye, one of the concepts they push in the movies is the left eye is evil for some reason, or to a lesser extent, use the eye as a gateway to demonstrate functionality such as with Technites 2009 or Gamer. In phase 2, an actual nano camera will be installed in the left eye. People with this might comment on how they feel like there's a small bump in their eye under slightly drier conditions, such as when going to sleep at night. This is documented in the physical example page. Note, if you figure out you have a camera in the left eye, they will probably install something in the right one too. Clips referencing this concept are now available here, and now on Wednesday book. Phase 2, metallic taste. Some people will comment on a metallic taste in the mouth. Typically, when going to sleep, it becomes prevalent. In the alternative, the temporary compromising of taste buds is shown in the clip contract. It's not a side effect of medication. That's the typical response the doctor will give you. If you're not on medication and otherwise completely healthy, and all of a sudden have a permanent metallic taste in your mouth, you're being recorded, but not watched. Phase 2, Morgellons.
Okay,
No,
I found this on the web for our use to Morgellons. Take a look.
I didn't ask for you, girl. Go to sleep. How about that? So, Morgellon can strike anyone. It's a direct problem from the nanofibers, whether intentional or accidental. The body's immune system can't see or recognize the fibers at all. So when the body can't accept the fibers anymore, it means to push them out through the skin. But the skin is a barrier because the fibers are too large. So the skin breaks up, which is why people get lesions. Note that technically everyone has Morgellons, nanofibers. The actual Morgellon symptoms are when the person's body tries to get rid of them the only way possible. So more conclusions can be seen here and here. I'll go over that later. Chemtrail, nanofiber examples, and evidence. Ultimately, you need some proof. This is very difficult, as we all don't exactly have nanotech labs in our basements. The only thing possible at this point in time is to put out physical evidence that is known and back it up with media, movies, supporting clips. A complete list of the unbelievable things this technology can do is listed here. Also make sure you see the real life body mind control examples and media references. So here goes the physical proof. Okay. Physical nanofiber bioapple examples. This website's not bothered with the scientific details or patents behind the actual nanotech. That's the clue that I got about writing the book about the patents. And when Donald Trump let a secret memo go out when he got into office to show us the patents, that turned me into holy cow. And at first I couldn't find any, and now I'm finding all of them. And what I'm saying is the secret patents that they have in the secret space programs and all this stuff they've been yelling about, they can reverse your age, they can cure anything, and we can live to be 1,000 years. That's what I know. So I, like yourself, I'm sure am not a nanotech engineer. If you want details, you can read for the next 10 years if you want. Patents are easily found for all of this. They want and need you to focus on the super technical nonsense. Look past it. The closer you look, the less you'll see. And that's kind of funny to me. To summarize from the frequently asked question page, chemtrails spray the entire planet with nanofibers, which you breathe in. These fibers contain nano components, which construct and install nano implants, which the aggregate of constitutes what is commonly known as a biological application programming interface, allowing for complete monitoring and control of all body and mind functions in a given host, you and everyone on the entire planet. Below are the basics, which is all that's required for a broader understanding of these nanofibers. The first few examples show an actual payload within a fiber, which would be used in the installation of nano implant, for example. The colored fibers are just examples of what else can be seen. And the last example is a petri dish of nanofibers from an average person such as yourself. The fiber images are about 200 times magnification, and any standard microscope will let you see these fibers. You can view these fibers yourself right now if you want. They're all around you. You're even breathing them in as you read this. Some fibers move on their own. They sort of wiggle. They have no organelles, proving they are not organic or biological in nature. All of these fibers in your body and brain. All fibers and constructs are viewable with the naked eye, just barely, under a proper wavelength of black light. For example, for more information to the nanofibers and how to extract them from your body, refer to the bottom of the page in the nanofiber extraction details. For an expressive prologue to this, you can refer to Gamer, in which he told exactly what they were doing and demonstrates it for all to see, like in Technoteeth. Nanofibers are now directly shown and referenced in clips for Doomsday Book, Exile. Chemtrails as a source of mind control is shown in Ultrasonic the Crazies. Also see the host, where they outright show you a pretty good representation of nanofibers. There you go. And there's what it looks like in the eyeballs. And then a camera that the doctor can look at. And they're showing you this in the movies. And it's because artificial intelligence can pick all this stuff up. So, this is the most amazing picture you'll see in your life. This is a phase 2 subject with a nano camera in the left eye, only viewable with the proper wavelength of black light. Everyone on the planet has a basic set of nano implants that allows them to be tracked and mind controlled on demand. People who can track what I call phase 2 will have additional implants that allows them to be body controlled as well as a whole host of other functions. Your body is turned into a robot against your knowledge and against your will. The aggregate of these nano implants constitutes what is commonly known as biological application program interface. Check the media page for upcoming references concerning the ocular implant, specifically or chaos, or even in the Minority Report description for that matter. In fact, you can review the Minority Report description that explained on these eye references. Note the pink circle referencing the implant. The large image is not actually the camera. It's just a side effect. Fibers and implants grow under UV light of the camera implant installation for this individual. The camera is too small, micro size. It can't be seen, but it can be felt. Some more thoughts and information on nano implant are available. Interestingly, they demonstrate this ocular implant in action and show exactly how they see what you see at about 11-minute mark of the movie. A monitor beside Bruce Willis shows a video cam of what a surrogate is seeing after he gives himself a glass of water. It's real. This is how everything you will be recorded is true from Scanner Darkly. In warm bodies, they actually refer the exact location of the ocular implant when she is scanned at roughly 58 minutes. And there you go. So as they come into the hangar, they quickly scan the eye to see if they are zombies. Correct idea, but wrong application. In real life, the proper wavelength of light is somewhere else. The first example shows a fiber that was found in pond water. If I remember correctly, this is a typical fiber you would breathe in while jogging or something. Notice the payload, which seemed to shrink to nothing. It started to shrink as soon as I looked at it, or it sensed the light from the microscope, seen at roughly 200 times magnification in late 2010. The contraction time frame was about 300 seconds. A fiber in another payload. The next image is a larger version of this. This example shows another payload, this time with some color for some reason. For whatever reason, some fibers are red, blue, and colored, and there's a red fiber. This is an example of the most common fibers found. It's transparent, longer, and seems kind of benign. Don't forget, when I disclosed this the first time with Shady Groove, I did my own example. I took my own sample of red wine test, and these are the kind of fibers I was seeing, and so were these. They were just different colors. The connecting proof I keep showing the wrong ones. All right. The connecting proof of chemtrail nanofibers in your body being the target is this test here. Rinsing one's mouth out with red wine will extract the fibers from the oral cavity of the person. Viewing the extraction under a microscope, and you'll see the same fiber structure as fibers found in pond water or randomly elsewhere. 100% saturation. A quick rinse doesn't work. You have a lot of the acidity of the red wine soak into your mouth for a bit. The wine stains the fibers. Gargle, repeat a few times, you'll start to see them. This image is in a petri dish. Clifford Carnicom has pioneered the research going back as far as 2003, connecting nanofibers with chemtrails. Merely compare the structure of what comes out of your mouth with what is found outside in rainwater. It's the same thing. See below for a test you can conduct for yourself. It's not what you look at that matters, it's what you see. And you know, when I did my test, it made my wife sick. And I said that before. It made me sick seeing these things trucking around. And I can't even sleep at night because that's what they're doing. They're connected to your mind and telling you what to do and giving you dreams to believe in. And you wake up and go swimming off in the ocean when you're supposed to be going to the pool. Yeah, those are the stupid things that you find out. Okay, I'd like to take a moment and expand on what someone should see if they actually wish to test themselves. To make any connection, all of you must recognize the chemtrail nanofibers are coming from your body, which in a normal environment is completely impossible. Everyone knows red wine stains absolutely everything. And it's a nightmare to clean. It should be no surprise that when dealing with copolymer nanofibers, this red wine principle is no different. The test is basic. The purpose is simply allow the red wine's acidity to saturate your mouth, and the nanofibers will slowly be extracted and then stained by the wine. Why this actually happens is unknown myself. So here's some samples. And then, you know, it's just all in there. There you have it. Chemtrails spray nanofibers. You breathe, eat, and ingest these nanofibers. It's impossible not to. Could you put these nanofibers from your mouth under a microscope? You could, but it's not realistic because they are all stained. It's much better to get a sample of pond water or water from the street or sewer drain, or leave a small dish of water outside for a while to get nanofibers that are falling from the lower atmosphere after some chemtrail spraying. Now, what do? Why on earth would this be happening? Brace yourself. You still have to think. I know it's difficult, but hang in there. Nanofibers deliver nano components as reflected above. These nano components encapsulate neurons and bridge synapses throughout your body, or to a greater extent, install nano implants. Again, for what? Why? To control you. That's why. To read your mind. thoughts, see what you see, hear what you hear, essentially turn you into a cyborg. In standard computer science circles, this will be called a bioAPI or wetware. It's for mind control, plain and simple. They even show you samples of what they do in everyday life. So continue on for several awesome media examples and real mind control references. It's all real. They did it all. Thoughts on a possible cure can be found in review of them. Possible cure. Wow. The following should help point out phase 2 in the right general direction to assist with stopping the assault on mind control tricks. I'm available for any questions or continued assistance with if you wish to move forward with it. It's highly recommended that people with phase 1 do not attempt any of this, as it's completely unnecessary and can obviously hurt you substantially if done wrong. So that's as far as I got. And that's where it's at.